Hi, I'm Doug McKinlay and you're watching Adorama TV. Wow, there is a crazy amount of lenses out there. Different sizes, different focal lengths, different costs. But how do you know which one's for you? And more importantly, how do you know which one's going to help you improve your photography? That's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to use one lens, in this case, the Canon 50mm 1.4, the Nifty 50.
Adorama TV presents Stay Focused with Doug McKinlay.
Most consumer DSLR cameras today come with a package lens, usually zooms from 18 to 55mm or 24 to 105mm. And there's nothing wrong with these lenses, but personally I think that your photography can improve by leaps and bounds if you practice photographic exercises using one fixed or prime lens. In this case, our 50mm 1.4. Now, the 50mm is often called a normal lens because it's more or less the same field of view as a human eye. Just to be clear though, I'm talking about the lens mounted on a full frame body like this Canon 5D Mark III. For cropped sensor cameras, the normal lens is closer to 35mm. Be that as it may, they are great little lenses, and for the 1.8 model it can be had for about £75, just over $100. The 1.4 model is a little more, but with the extra flexibility in the aperture, it's worth the money. And it's still not going to break the bank. But don't let the price fool you, they're well built and optically very sound. Now, the exercise of using one lens and one camera body is something I still do today. Maybe not on assignment, but definitely when I'm at home shooting stock or personal work. Now, the reason why I do this is it helps to really focus my mind on the images, rather than relying on a lot of technology to get the picture. So what we're going to do today is break the exercise down into two segments. First up is a bit of street reportage, followed by some cityscapes. We don't want to just show off the versatility of a 50mm lens, but we want to highlight all those things you need to think about in order to get good pictures. We want to focus our minds and not rely on a big bag of tricks. So street reportage. This part of the exercise is designed to tell a story, to coax compelling pictures out of everyday life, like we've just done at the English market. Now I keep going on about using the Nifty 50, which is fantastic. But other lenses will work too, a 24 or 35 for instance. The point is it should be a prime lens, nothing longer than 50. We need to think about our compositions, and these lenses help. There should be nothing in the composition that shouldn't be there, no extraneous material. No thinking that, oh, I'll crop that out later in the computer. That just doesn't work for these exercises. And as for zooms, your only zoom are your legs. The other great thing about a 50mm lens, even the 1.8 version, is it's a great available light lens. It has a big aperture, perfect for street photography. Another setting we're going to employ in our camera body is to turn the motor drive to single shot. We want to concentrate on the images. This exercise is all about taking our time. What we want to capture is what Cartier-Bresson used to say, the decisive moments. Landscapes and cityscapes are all about point of view, and in that regard, a little research goes a long way. I've always found that by returning to places often and at different times of day or year, I get better pictures, just because I know it better. And because we're using a 50mm, research can be vital. We need to find points of view that will enhance images taken with this lens. So what we're going to do here is demonstrate a way to steady your camera without using a tripod. Now across the water is a nice cityscape that I want to try and get. Now, because I don't have the tripod, I've also got this really sturdy railing here. My camera's not going to move at all. I'm going to set up, get my composition right. Now what I see is that the front of the camera is a little bit too low, so I want to tilt it back a little bit. So what I'm going to use is a 1 pound English coin, and I'm going to slide it underneath the tripod mount that's already affixed to the bottom of my camera. Have another look. Now that's raising the front of the camera up enough to get my framing, my composition correct. Got it set at a 2-second timer, so I don't have to touch the camera once I press the button. Got a pretty slow shutter speed of about 1/15 of a second because I'm going to try and blur the cars out across the street there a little bit. And once I'm happy with the composition, I just depress the shutter button, get my hands off the camera, being careful not to drop the camera, and let the camera do the work. So that's it for me. I'm Doug McKinlay for Adorama TV. And don't forget to subscribe to Adorama TV for more great videos. You can like, comment, or share in this video, and please stop by the Adorama Learning Center for more great tips and tricks.
Do you want great looking prints at low cost? Be sure to visit our easy to use online printing service. Adorama Pix has professionals who treat your images with the utmost care that you can count on. For a quick turnaround on photos, cards, or albums, use adoramapix.com.